we actually have one more step, a couple more steps. Sorry, class. It's very important actually that we don't save as a DXF at this point. We need to save it as an SVG. If I click save, well, let's just do save as. And save it in whatever folder you want to, but make sure you come over here to change this to a, I guess Inkscape SVG is fine. And I'm gonna click save. So now if I close this document and I open the SVG, everything is as normal. If I were to open the DXF version, it's going to ask me to scale it again, and it's also not going to remember the document size that I used before. So it is important that we are saving as an SVG if we want to come back to this exact document. All right, that's save type. What we need to do now, which is the final step for laser cutting, is changing the colors of the stroke being the lines. There are 3 different colors that we use for laser cutting. The first is red, second is blue, and the third is black. Now, what do these colors represent? If I have something that is a red line, let's make this, that's not what I wanted. You actually have to come to, you see stroke at the bottom here. I'm going to click on either where it says stroke or this black box, and make sure that my color type is on RGB, and the first type is going to be red. Now to make it really red, this red value needs to be all the way up. Everything else needs to be 0. That for sure is red. When I unclick, I can see clearly that that is red. And red means the laser cutter is going to cut all the way through the wood, meaning all of this will be cut out. Each of these will be individual pieces that I can then, I don't know why all of a sudden these are lines now. I guess because I saved it as an SVG. So just be careful at this point after you've saved it as an SVG that your lines are not attached to each other anymore. So that is red. Let's talk about the color blue. I'm going to highlight all of these things and make these the color blue by making this 255. I'm going to click enter, click over here. You can see that this is now blue. Blue means that the laser cutter is not going to cut all the way through, but instead will engrave. What engrave means is it burns these lines into the wood so that you can visibly see them, but it won't actually cut out this piece. Now, I want to do that for these triangles because I actually don't want these to be cut through. I don't want them to be windows. I want them to be my solar panels. So I'm going to leave these as blue, but I do want it to cut out this outer piece. And unfortunately, I think I have to select all of these lines manually. And transform these into red. Turn red all the way up, make blue 0, and voila. Now I know that this is going to cut out the dodecagon but engrave the blue lines. Now the last thing is black. Black, what the laser cutter does with black lines is it fills it in. It'll basically, it won't show it here, but if I were to fill these in with, well, I guess they're not closed shapes anymore, but it's going to fill in this triangle to be completely black. It's going to go back and forth like this with basically burning the wood until this whole triangle is completely black. Almost certainly you don't want that or don't need that, so I'm just going to make all of this red. It's kind of annoying that it won't let you change the, oh, there we go. So what you can do, guys, is you can drag these colors. If I've selected some geometry and I want to change the stroke color, I can actually drag this red into there. So this is now perfectly set up for laser cutting. I'm going to save, once again, make sure it's an SVG. And when I go to open it in my laser cutter software, it's going to look something like this. Voila. And I will work with you at this point to figure out how to use the laser cutter. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening.